There are a lot of credit cards in today's world, but what is the one card that you should start with? Today I'll be going over the best beginner credit cards and what they can offer in terms of cashback and rewards, who these cards are best designed for, and what card I would choose to start with right now if I had to start all over and pick my very first card. Because these are beginner credit cards, I will not be including anything that requires an annual fee. Once a card demands a fee, I usually consider this a mid-tier card at the very least. I definitely do not recommend starting out your credit card journey with a card that already has an annual fee. One thing to note before I go through each card is that the institution that the card is affiliated with, like Chase, Capital One, American Express, is very important if you eventually down the line plan to get a more powerful, higher tier credit card. So even if there is a very small chance that you will eventually get a higher tier card down the line, make sure to pay attention to the credit cards that offer points as opposed to cash back. I'll make sure to let you know which ones offer rewards like points, cash back, or both. The difference between cash back and rewards is that with cash back, you are quite literally getting your cash back, usually in the form of a statement credit that you can apply to your credit card bill. So unlike points, you cannot increase the value you get of cash back based on a higher tier card that you get down the line.
Are you serious?
So if you have $50 cash back and you get a higher tier credit card, that is not going to turn that $50 of cash back into $75 cash back. With points, for example, if you get a higher tier card down the line, any points that you have at that moment, you can use to 1.25 or 1.5 multiply the points you have now. When a credit card offers points, you can usually always use this as cash back if you want, but if you want the most value from your points, you can use this to transfer between travel partners down the line. This is 100% what I recommend doing if you're someone who wants to get another card later on. The first card I'm going to talk about today is the Capital One Saver One Rewards Cash Card. This credit card gives you 1% cash back on all of your purchases, 3% cash back on dining out, entertainment, streaming services, and groceries, and then $200 of bonus cash back after you spend $500 in your first 3 months. Feel free to use this card internationally because this has no foreign transaction fees, but note that these are cash back rewards, not points. If you're interested in applying for this card, you at the very least need a 670 credit score. The second card I'm going to talk about is also with Capital One, and this is the Capital One Quicksilver Cashback Card. As opposed to the Saver One, this is pretty straightforward and has 1.5% cash back on all of your purchases. This also offers $200 of bonus cash back after spending $500 for the first 3 months, and this is another card you can use internationally because it has no foreign transaction fees. However, you do have to have at least around a 690 credit score when applying for this card. Unfortunately though, these two cards that I just mentioned do not offer points, so you cannot transfer anything to any future cards that you get with Capital One. This is a bit of a letdown because Capital One has some of the best rewards for their higher tier cards, but I will get into some cards that you can get now and they will transfer points later. The next card on my list is the Discover It Cashback card. This is actually the first card that I had when I started out. This card offers 1% cash back on all of your purchases, and Discover actually doubles all of the cash back that you earned in the first year. In addition to this, they also offer 5% cash back in rotating categories like restaurants, groceries, gas stations, and more. I want to make sure that you understand not all credit cards are accepted everywhere internationally. So although it's great that they do not charge foreign transaction fees, Discover in particular may not be as well recognized as something like Visa or MasterCard. This isn't a deal breaker, just something to note if you do plan to travel abroad. One more thing to note about this card is that it offers cash back, not points. If you're interested in applying for this card, you're going to need around at least a 670 credit score. Now, if you don't have the best credit or you feel like you may not be approved for any of these cards, you can get the Discover It Secured card. This card does not require an approval process. Here's why. The credit limit for this card is based on how much money you put down as a security deposit. So if you put down $200 to get this credit card, you can only use up to $200. This is kind of like having a debit card and you're earning credit from it because you cannot use more money than you've already put down. And then after you've increased your score by using this card, you can go ahead and apply for a credit card that actually gives you rewards. The next card on my list is the American Express Blue Cash Everyday card. This offers a $200 bonus cash back after spending $2,000 in the first 6 months. This card will get you 3% cash back on US supermarkets, gas stations, and online retail stores. One bad thing about this card is that it does have a 2.7% foreign transaction fee, so it's not the best if you do want to travel internationally. Also note that this is cash back, not points, so you cannot transfer anything you earn on this card. American Express is one of the most prestigious credit card institutions. Their higher tier cards are notorious for offering high annual fees. However, they do offer even higher reward opportunities. But unfortunately, the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card will not give you points that you can transfer to a future card. The next card that is honestly one of the best that I have on this list is something that you may not have heard of, and this is the Bilt MasterCard. The unique thing about this card that I have not seen with any other credit card is that you are encouraged to use it to pay your rent. Usually when you're paying your rent, there's a disclosure letting you know that if you use a credit card, there's a certain percentage that you will be charged as a credit card fee. Now, if you're paying several $1,000s in rent every month, this fee can add up big time. However, the Bilt MasterCard negates any credit card fees, so you don't have to worry about this. And in addition to that, you earn points for the rent you pay. So just for paying your rent, you can earn several $100s every year. And I haven't even finished with all the benefits. The Bilt MasterCard also gets you 3x points for dining out, 2x points on any travel purchases, and 1x points on all other purchases, including your rent. Now, the cool thing about this is that on the first day of every month, the categories that I just mentioned are actually doubled, which means you get up to 6 times points on dining out, 4 times points on travel, and 2 times points on all other purchases, excluding rent. So keep in mind, everything is doubled on the first day, except for rent. You only get 1x points for that. And again, in addition to this, you can use this card internationally and not have to worry about any foreign transaction fees. And last but not least, you can transfer the points you use with this card with travel partners. I will say the travel partners are not the greatest, but 2 that are domestic and very well known are American Airlines and World of Hyatt. This is one of the best rewards cards I have ever seen that does not have an annual fee. Now, the last 2 cards I'm going to mention are the Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Freedom Flex. The Chase Freedom Unlimited offers 1.5% cash back on all of your purchases, and Chase matches all of the cash back that you earned in your first year. So if you earn $400 in cash back, you get another $400 as a first year bonus. The bad thing about this card is that there is a 3% foreign transaction fee, so it's not the best if you want to travel internationally. Now, the Chase Freedom Flex offers 1% cash back on everything and 5% cash back on rotating categories like gas, groceries, Amazon, and more. You also get a $200 bonus cash back after spending $500 the first 3 months. The one con, similar to the Unlimited, is that there is a 3% foreign transaction fee on the Freedom Flex as well, so beware when traveling internationally. Keep in mind you are using points and cash back, so you can use what you earn however you want. The great thing about these 2 cards is that you can transfer any of the points that you earn to a higher tier card if you get one down the line. This is amazing because Chase is known to offer some of the best reward travel partners. For example, some notable mentions are Air Canada, JetBlue, Singapore Airlines, Southwest Airlines, and United Airlines. And some notable hotels that they partner with are Marriott and World of Hyatt. Now, that was a quick rundown of about 7 credit cards. So if I had to start all over, what would I do? First, I would ask myself 3 questions. Will this be the only credit card I ever have? If yes, then I would choose the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card if I did not plan on traveling internationally. If I only ever wanted to have one credit card and I would use it to travel, it is a no-brainer. I would pick the Bilt MasterCard. The Bilt MasterCard offers amazing combinations of no foreign transaction fees, points for all the rent that I pay, extra rewards for eating out and booking travel, and on top of that, the points that I earn, I can transfer over to travel partners. So if you don't plan on getting any more credit cards in the future and you just want the one, Bilt is the way to go. I can 100% recommend this. But what if I do want to get another higher tier credit card down the line and I just want something to get me started? My ultimate choice to start out would be the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This can be swapped out with the Chase Freedom Flex card. However, me personally, I don't want to keep track of the rotating categories on the Freedom Flex. I just want the bottom line 1.5% cash back on all of my purchases. However, if you are someone who really wants to prioritize, and I mean really prioritize, the value of your credit cards, the best option for you would be to get both the Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Freedom Flex. This way, you can get 5% cash back on the rotating categories that the Freedom Flex offers, and then on anything else that is not in that rotating 5% category, you can use the Chase Freedom Unlimited for to get 1.5% cash back. So you're never earning less than 1.5% cash back on any purchase, and you're going up to 5% cash back on all of your purchases. And your points become even more valuable if you decide to get the Chase Trifecta, which is the Freedom Unlimited, the Freedom Flex, and then a higher level Chase card like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Reserve. And all of the points that you earn with these two cards can be transferred with your travel partners. Now, if you were interested in getting any of these cards, I'll have a few links in the description so that you can get them. If you learned anything from this video, consider leaving a like or even subscribing. It really helps out the channel. If you have any questions about the cards that I mentioned today, or maybe any cards that I did not mention today, leave that in the comments and I'm gonna make sure to do my very best to help you out. Now, I do have another book to get back to, so that's gonna be it from me. Have a fantastic day, week, and stay smart. Go.